was surprised that he's gone the British title.
We're going to wait for the post-fight interview because I want to see what he has to say. Chris Eubank Jr. is now 23-1 with 17 KOs. He stopped some domestic level UK fighter by the name of Tom Doran. I saw a few fights of his, and dude shouldn't have been in there with Chris Eubank Jr. from the start. 5th round TKO stoppage, 4th round TKO stoppage. Doran was down multiple times, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is, you know, I like Chris Eubank Jr. He's very charismatic, and he is good for boxing. But really, he's not really that good. You know, he's not really that good. Like, even when he fights these journeymen, you know, these underling fighters, you know, you see flaws. For example, the showboating that he was doing in the first round. And if you watched past Chris Eubank Jr. fights, he does showboating. You know, he'll turn his back on you. He'll dip real low, and you know, he'll do like a little fucking shuffle. It's, you know, it's entertainment, but did you notice he didn't do that shit with Billy Joe Saunders? And then when he was trying to do it, he was getting tagged up. And he's damn sure is not going to do that shit against Gennady Golovkin. I'm going to have to say it, I'll be honest with you. I didn't think before that Eubank Jr. would get knocked out by Golovkin, but now I think he's going to get knocked the fuck out. Like, seriously. And if you watch these fights, even like with these underling, you know, low-level fighters, he showed some defensive flaws. Golovkin is a very smart fighter. I understand, you know, like Chris Eubank Jr. has a strong fan base over there in the UK, and UK boxing fans are very passionate. But yo, listen, you're lying to yourself if you think that he's a world champion material right now. We don't even really know who he is. Remember, unless he's fighting a guy like Billy Joe Saunders, which was his big fight, and of course he's not going to do it against Gennady Golovkin, he showboats against these, you know, low-level fighters. You can't take Chris Eubank Jr. has never had a fight where you can say, yo, he put on a boxing masterclass. You know, yeah, he goes out there and beats these guys the fuck up, but he never goes out there. You never hear people say, yo, he really outboxed him. You know, so the promoter of Chris Eubank Jr., Eddie Hearn, is saying that the fight is pretty much a done deal. You know, Golovkin versus Eubank in September. It's going to be in the UK. It's going to be on HBO Boxing and Sky Sports Boxoffice. You know, nothing's official yet, but the way, you know, they've been talking about it is that it is. Let's listen to the post-fight interview. It's going to come on soon. And I really want to see what they have to say, and then we're going to talk about what happens with Golovkin versus Eubank. Hold on.
Well done. If you want to land the super fight, how important was it to prove that you're often like the very game and brave Tom Doran tonight?
No, for me it's all about making statements. I feel I'm a world level now. I feel like I'm challenging for world titles. And Gennady Golovkin, man, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for your belt, man.
Belts.
Everyone's scared of me. For some reason, people think you're doing the structural man, you're not. And I'm coming. You are coming as well. You're getting me. Anybody out there with a world title, I'm coming for.
I think the interesting thing that surprised a lot of people, not many people chase the premier middleweight on the planet, Gennady Golovkin, but he seems to be actively seeking to fight him next.
Listen, I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter's fighter, without that. Every fighter wants to talk, wants to fight the best, wants to beat the best, and become the best. I want the hardest, toughest challenges out there. From a big fight tonight, Tom Doran, solid fighter that we're doing this fight with. I went in there, just another day of effort.
Sorry about the sound quality. Let's see. I really want to hear what Eddie Hearn has to say.
I want a big name, and I feel I'm ready.
Chris, we'll come to you in a second. A quick word with Eddie Hearn. Eddie, is that fight close to being made against Gennady Golovkin?
Yeah, listen, Chris Eubank Jr. wants to fight Golovkin. Golovkin is ready to accept the fight, and we'll talk this week, and hopefully that can get made. There's not many people that want to fight Eubank and Golovkin. Chris does. They all do. They want the big fights. They want to fight the very best. And I believe that Chris Eubank Jr. could well get made this week.
Chris, you said that Junior has inherited your great chin. What else does he need to add to his game if he is to beat Golovkin?
Fearlessness, which he already has. And Golovkin should, actually, if he's clever, he should be watching this young man here.
So what's the message?
All right, that's it for that for now. Wait, let's see.
I train like an absolute animal. All the fans out there telling me on Snapchat.
All right, he ain't talking about shit no more. So there you have it. Eddie Hearn is saying that he feels confident that the fight can get made this week. I feel that the fight is going to happen. I feel it's like a 90% chance that the fight is going to happen. And it makes me wonder, well, if Golovkin is willing to go over to the UK for Chris Eubank Jr., then why wasn't Billy Joe Saunders ready to accept the fight with Gennady Golovkin? But here's the scenario. Now, let's just say if Eubank Jr. beats Gennady Golovkin, he'll be the WBC, IBF, and WBA Super World Champion of the world. Then he would be able to go after Billy Joe Saunders in what would be a big mega fight over there in the UK. Yes, Wembley. And it would bring two promotional outfits. You know, they would have to work together for a big fight. And they haven't, what, Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, what was the last big fight that they did, you know, together? You guys know better than me. And it would be a super fight over there because they would, of course, call it undisputed because Billy Joe with the WBO and Chris Eubank with those 3 belts, he'll be A-side even though Billy Joe beat him in the first fight. But Chris Eubank Jr. is not beating Gennady Golovkin. It's just not happening. Now, what does Golovkin go if he wins? You know, he's got to go after Billy Joe Saunders. And if not Billy Joe Saunders, then Danny Jacobs. You know, but we all know, we've heard. Remember at the press conference for Eubank and Billy Joe Saunders, where Billy Joe Saunders said out of his own mouth, go check out IFL, said out of his own mouth that Golovkin will beat you and me on the same night. You know, so Billy Joe is not confident in himself in beating Golovkin right now. I mean, you got to give, you know, credit to Eubank Jr. Even though he's not that good, he is willing to fight. He is willing to fight, you know, Gennady Golovkin. And if he loses, he's still going to be looked at as a warrior. But I'm interested to see what kind of fighter is going to show up because he hasn't really shown us any real technical skill. You know, but just my opinion. I know people are going to say, you know, why you so hard on Chris Eubank Jr., but y'all know it's the truth. You know, Tom Doran, come on, who's these guys he's fighting? You know, who's these guys he's fighting? The guy was on Prize Fighter last year, for crying out loud. So Chris Eubank Jr. should be above that. But, you know, he's fighting a big fight next. So Golovkin versus Eubank for the WBC, WBA, and IBF titles. And we'll just see, you know, what happens. I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. All the links to my social media are right down below in the description box. So basically everything I talk about in my videos, I talk about, or I provide, sources, you know, on my social media. So the links are right down in the description box. Please subscribe, share. This is T-Street Controversy, T-Street Controversy Live.